This is Coogan Cassius for iFL TV in association with Scott's Menswear and MGM Marbella. With me, I've got trainer Dominic Ingle. How are you, Dominic?
I'm very well, thank you, Coogan.
Lovely day here in Sheffield.
Fantastic.
I'm really happy to be here, actually.
Yeah.
It's great, yeah. Just in a bit of KELL sparring now. That was a tough opponent he had in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people read it, too much into sparring. KELL's getting the rounds in. He's got working a good heart rate. He's under a heavy training load at the minute before we go to America. We've got till next Tuesday, and this is probably his, one of his hardest weeks of training. So he's already put the hours in this week, and then he's had to pull out 8 rounds in the ring because it's going to be a grind when he fights Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter's not going to come with a clean game. He's going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at KELL, and if he can get away with it, he will. So it's the sparring partner's ideal because that's what KELL's going to get on the night.
We haven't got to go into too much about what a frustrating period this has been. It's well documented and etc, etc. But now the fight is happening, is dawning upon us within 3 weeks. How do you look at the level of KELL's opponents he's faced in the last 3 years, as in reference to preparation for this fight?
To be honest, if I look at Shawn Porter's record, I think the same thing. Maybe in America the opponents he's boxed have been decent fighters, but the only person I can see on there is Diaz, who's been any good. And up until them fights he didn't look anything special, and for me the only difference from the Diaz fights going into the Alexander and the Malignaggi fights is that he became more of a roughhouse. He had more spoiling tactics. He took the other fighters' game away from him, smothered the work, and then got his own shots off, and did everything he could to win the fight. So regarding KELL's preparation, when he had to turn it on against probably one of the best guys he's boxed, Sechenko, he did the job in 4 rounds. That guy was a world champion. Yeah, he might have been 30 odd years old. Yeah, he might have been beat by Malignaggi on a cut, but it wasn't a 12-round decision for KELL. KELL just finished that kid off in maybe 5 or 6 rounds, I think it was. So fighters always rise for the occasion. KELL's been telling everybody for the last 10 years or so he's going to be world champion. He's going to go to America and he's going to beat their top guys. And let's be right, he's no Timothy Bradley, he's no Manny Pacquiao, he's no Floyd Mayweather. This kid, he's a tough kid, and KELL's up against it. And if he said to me, if this fight was in England, I would say to you 100% KELL's going to win this fight without a doubt. In America it's always a different proposition. It's a 50-50 fight. We don't know who the judges are. Maybe they're all going to be American referee, who knows. So it's all going to be stacked against him. But he's not complaining. He's not saying, oh, we need to know who the referees are and the judges and everything else. Bad decision. He's got one chance on August the 16th, and he's got to win at all costs.
Would it be fair to say, outside of your camp and Porter's camp, that from a neutral point of view, we still don't know how good either of these fighters are?
Usually these type of fights are the making or breaking of a fight. I always remember Cole Froch before he boxed Jean Pascal, and he was a decent fighter, but you look where he went from that point onwards. That fight made him. It was a war. I don't think, when I look at that fight, they went toe to toe. He was a tough kid, and it was a war. It was a fight that made Froch. From that point on, he boxed Kesslers, he boxed all the top guys, and he's 36 years old and he's at the top of his game. But that was the making and breaking of him, and it's going to be the same with KELL. KELL's 28. And this is an obstacle he's got to overcome, and it's from that time onwards, from that winning that fight, what's going to make KELL. If he loses that fight, it's back to the drawing board. But he's got to win that fight, and that's when you're going to probably see the best of KELL Brook. That's when he's really got to step up to the plate. No more treading water. He's got to go in with the guys because he's put himself in the mix.
Dominic, can you make any comment on the situation regarding the random drug testing that has been? No
idea.
No. But
I have no idea whatsoever. I mean, it's not a concern to me. You do what you do. KELL gets drug tested. He's been drug tested throughout his career. At the end of the day, there's always this, big hoo-ha made about drug testing and accusations, and Paul Malignaggi, made comments on Shawn Porter. But to me, he wasn't anything special. He wasn't a Manny Pacquiao performance. You look at Manny Pacquiao, he's almost superhuman. It's all right making excuses when you get beat, but no disrespect to Malignaggi, he's been past his best for a long time, and it's what can I say about that fight? That fight, it was, you know, flattering really to Shawn Porter. I mean, he was past his best when Ricky Hatton beat him and Amir Khan beat him. So, you know, probably one of his best fights is when he boxed Miguel Cotto. But really, in the last couple of years, he's been really a high-quality journeyman. So, you know, there's always going to be accusations. But when you get into that ring, it's about heart. It's about determination. It's about, you know, beating the other guy mentally and physically. And, you know, forget, you know, drug testing or drugs or whatever. You know, it's two guys going to have a fight. They've both trained hard. If I were to look at Shawn Porter now, I don't think, you know, he's linked with Victor Conte in America, who's had, you know, all this stuff around him with a Balco scandal and everything else, and people start reading things into it. But in my opinion, there's no magic pills. It's hard work, graft and determination.
No, I only asked because, you know, I know that Eddie had said before that, you know, he'd asked for that, you know, in the negotiations obviously for the fight that was put in, but, you know.
But I'm not party in negotiations. I mean, obviously Eddie might know what's going off, but my job is to train KELL Brooke, get him in the best shape he can be, and bring him into that fight, you know, at the top of his game. So, you know, I don't worry about anything else. It's as long as KELL Brooke goes into that fight in the best physical condition, mentally prepared, I'm expecting him to win that fight. I think it's going to be a tough fight. I think it's going to be a close fight. I think it's going to be a points fight. You know, as long as he holds it together, rises to the occasion, you know, I think it's going to be a good fight.
Alright, so you set off next week for America?
Yeah, we're off on next Wednesday over there. We'll have roughly 2.5 weeks, you know, two or three, you know, 2 days just to get over the journey, and then a little bit of light work, pick it up steady. But he's done all his hard work. He's been in, you know, the night he steps into the ring, he'll have been in camp 16 weeks, which is probably twice as long as he's ever done it. He's not, you know, overtrained himself. He's gone steady. You know, the injuries of the past, probably doing a bit too much. The always thing with Kelly's always, you know, trying to hold him back from doing more. And this time we've planned it, you know, we've planned it out steady. We've done his hard phases of training, his rest periods of training. We've had 2 camps in Fuerteventura in 30 degrees heat. So he's you know, had enough time. You know, his weight's good. He's in good condition. You know, he's done everything right. We can't turn around at the end of the day and say, you know, this wasn't right, that wasn't right. Everything's been done right. You know, failing a car crash on the way to the venue or something happening over there, it's touch wood, yeah. You know, he's done everything right. There can be no excuses made. You know, no stone's been left unturned. He's in a good place. He knows he's done the work. He knows he's put the time in, and you know, hopefully on the 16th he'll be IBF champion.
We certainly hope so. Dominic, listen, best of luck with the rest of the camp. We will see you next time in Carson, California.
No problem.
And like I said, we're all hoping that he brings home that IBF belt.
We're all hoping.
Definitely.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.